And welcome, friends, to the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for joining us. Got lots of lines open for you. 844-236-6010. 844-236-6010. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, you've come to the right place, and we can help you. 844-236-6010 is our number. And if you just have a success story you'd like to share, if you want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll get your calls. In our next segment, we've got an awesome guest coming up at the bottom of the hour. I'm super excited to welcome Claudia Navone to the bright side. She's the author of a book called The Shapeshifter. She's much more than an author. She's just an incredible woman. She started her life as an heiress, I guess you could say, and she became a ballet dancer and a fashion editor, and then she had a spiritual awakening, and she is an incredibly wise woman with all kinds of brilliant insights to share in her book, The Shapeshifter, A Tale from Glitter to Light. It's not only super inspiring and very, very insightful and wise, it's also just an interesting read, and an easy read at that. The Shapeshifter, Claudia Navone, is the author, and she'll come up at the bottom of the hour. We'll get your calls in our next segment, 844-236-6010. If you want to purchase longevity products, please head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can also call 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. And don't forget to ask about joining the Brightside Ben team for a one-time $30 fee. You can be in business for yourself. We can help you build a nutrition business. You can be part of the billion-dollar nutritional business. It's just getting bigger and bigger almost every day. People are becoming more hip to understanding how powerful a nutritional supplement program can be. We can help you understand how to use nutritional supplements and how to use nutritional supplements to help make the world a better place. Call 866-735-2470 for more info, or go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, and hit the Join the Team Now link. Also, would like to remind you to check out our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com. Truthtreatments.com. We've got specials running. I think you missed the Father's Day special if you haven't gotten on it yet, but we have other specials up at truthtreatments.com. Products all formulated in my compounding pharmacy for healing burns and cuts and scrapes and psoriasis and eczema. Turns out when you heal a wound, you beautify the skin. Truth Treatments are about healing and health. Beauty comes second. Healing and health first. Beauty follows. Truthtreatments.com. Truthtreatments.com. Okay. Claudia Navone coming up the bottom of the hour. We'll get your calls next segment, 844-236-6010. I was talking a little bit about cholesterol yesterday, and I've been getting into vitamin D. It's hard not to get into vitamin D. In the last couple of months, there's been so much news about vitamin D in the immune system, vitamin D3 in the immune system. Yesterday, we talked about how vitamin D is actually just a form of cholesterol. Cholesterol is a stress management substance. If you wanted to impair a culture's ability to withstand the vicissitudes, the ups and downs, the natural ups and downs that occur in life, there's not much more damage you could do to the stress management system of a culture, of the human beings in a culture, than to give them a statin drug. That's what a statin drug does for us. A statin drug shuts down our body's ability to make cholesterol. And oh, by the way, most of the cholesterol in the body is made by the body. So this idea that you're going to lower your cholesterol by not eating eggs is really nonsensical and just emblematic of the bad information that we get from our health authorities, from those people we trust. Now, I know I'm preaching to the choir here on this program, but just understand, for the most part, Americans and really everybody around the world depends on health authorities that know very little about nutrition, depend on orthodox health authorities that know very little about biochemistry. And certainly, they know very little about nutritional biochemistry, and that's why we have these simplistic ideas about health. The simplistic idea that because cholesterol is located in the blood vessels, that you'll take a drug that stops your body, poisons your body, that is, from making cholesterol, your heart will be better off for it. You cannot be better off for any prescription drug by taking any prescription drug. It can't happen. Let me say that again. For anybody on a prescription drug, you should understand that you are not going to get healthier by being on a prescription drug. And how the pharmaceutical model became a part of health it's just crazy to me. I have no idea how we fell for this. Now, it's true that if you have an infection, an antibiotic can take care of it. And it's true that if you're in pain, you want a pain pill. But other than that, the drugs we take for dealing with our chronic long-term degenerative, i.e., aka lifestyle health issues, can do nothing but damage our bodies and cost us nutritional resources that will ultimately not only make us sicker, but lead to our early demise. And I often wonder how many people whose death certificates say they died of a heart attack really died of a B vitamin deficiency, because the B vitamins were being redirected to help them break down and detoxify their antihypertensives. You can't get better by being on a prescription drug, and that includes statin drugs. Now, if you want to lower your cholesterol, if you really want to lower your cholesterol, your body, you don't necessarily need to go out of your way to lower your cholesterol, but what you do have to do is recognize that elevated cholesterol is a metabolic problem. That means it's a biochemical problem. That means it's associated to something you're doing. And as it turns out, there are things we do that raise our cholesterol, one of which is stress a lot. Leave that aside, but just know if your body is under physical duress, or if you're under mental or psychological or emotional duress, your cholesterol is going to go up, because cholesterol is a stress management substance. Does that make sense? When you're under duress, whether it's the duress of an infection, or it's the duress of inflammation, or it's the duress of a bad relationship, your cholesterol is going to go up. When you're under the duress of excess sugar in your blood, your cholesterol is going to go up. When a woman is under the duress of menopause or perimenopause, her cholesterol is going to go up. When we're under the duress of surgery or injury, our cholesterol is going to go up. So if you want to lower your cholesterol, relax the body, not just psychologically and emotionally. That's true. You want to relax the body, and meditation will lower your cholesterol. But also things like reducing your sugar intake, things like reducing your caloric intake. In fact, intermittent fasting is a great way to lower your cholesterol. I still get questions from folks who want to know how to fast or how to intermittent fast. And it's kind of I'm always a little, I don't know, it's just interesting to me that people would ask, how do you fast? How do you fast? You don't eat. That's how you fast. Now, I understand there's little tricks here and there and things that you can do and not do. For example, I had a gal yesterday ask me about nutritional supplements when she's fasting. Can she take her Beyond Tangy Tangerine when she's fasting? Can she use her Healthy Start Pack when she's fasting? And the answer is yes, you can, because the Healthy Start Pack is very, very low calorie. There's a little calories in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, but for the most part, you're not getting much calories. And when you're fasting, what you're trying to do is you're trying to lower the caloric input into the body, so the body does not have calories to work with. Every calorie we put into our body costs us resources, puts a stress on the body, activates the immune and the inflammatory system. Yes, calories activate immunity naturally. Even if they come from lettuce, they'll naturally activate the immune system, and the inflammatory system is called postprandial inflammation, post-eating inflammation. Intermittent fasting, all-time great strategy for longevity, for well-being, for heart health, and also for lowering cholesterol. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We will take your phone calls next segment, 844-236-6010, and be back right after this. Okay, we're back on The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. I am Pharmacist Ben. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we can help you. 844-236-6010. Head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com if you want to purchase longevity products. And you can also call 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. All right, got Claudia Navone coming up the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk about her book, The Shapeshifter, and we'll take your calls this segment from the University of Rochester Medical Center. New therapy reduces chronic low back pain in a large international study. Well, what is that new therapy? Of course, it's a prescription drug, a drug called tanezumab, which you can't get yet because it's still under investigational status. It's a drug that blocks inflammation, as all these UMAB drugs do. Whenever you hear UMAB at the end of or sometimes IMAB or UMAB, MAB, at the end of a word, at the end of a name of a drug, you're dealing with MAB, monoclonal antibody. A monoclonal antibody is first started using maybe 30 or 40 years ago. These are drugs that purport to be less toxic, and perhaps they are less toxic than your non-steroidal than your steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like prednisone and dexamethasone, which you're hearing about now, and with COVID, these UMAB and IMAB type drugs, these MAB type drugs, they work by targeting the chemicals of the immune system, the molecules of the immune system. The immune system, like any system in the body, works with molecules, and some of those molecules cause inflammation. That's how the immune system works. Whenever you see inflammation, you have an immune response. And previously, the drugs that they would use would just knock out the immune system, completely knock it out, and that's why prednisone and the steroid drugs have such a bad reputation. In pharmacy school, they always tell us nobody should stay on the steroid drugs for more than 1 or 2 weeks. Yet, some of you out there have been on your steroid drugs for months. Any case, the UMAB and IMAB drugs, the monoclonal antibody drugs, are more targeted. They're more specific. They call them biologics. The reason they call them biologics is because they target biology, specific biochemical reactions, and they're also made biologically. They're made using genetic technology. I'm not going to get into the details of it, but they're made using genetic technologies that weren't available until about 40 years ago. So they actually make antibodies. They actually produce antibodies. They produce antibodies, but they tailor-made these antibodies. Remember, antibodies are intelligent. You have antibodies against specific bacteria. You have antibodies against specific viruses. You have antibodies against specific enemies. The enemies are called antigens. You have antibodies that target. Just think heat-seeking missile. You know, DARPA, the government defense agency that's got all these high-tech James Bond kinds of weapons, one of the things that they want to do is they want to create chemicals that target specific people or specific races or specific countries, citizens of specific countries, soldiers, we'll say, of specific countries. The specificity of targeting is supposed to be a good thing. You only kill the right people. Well, leave that aside, whether it's, the politics of that aside or the morality of that aside. That's what these UMAB drugs do. They target specific things. They target specific molecules. That's how advanced our technologies are. We can target specific molecules in the body. In this case, the molecules that induce inflammation, thus you don't have inflammation. And so this article that came out from the University of Rochester Medical Center talks about using these specifically targeted drugs or chemicals, missiles, to hit the molecules that cause inflammation associated with back pain. This strikes me as so crazy. The dependence we have on drugs for dealing with our physical structural issues in our body is an extreme example of our pharmacocentric medical model. We use drugs for everything. For lower back pain, are you kidding me? Go see a chiropractor. Get manipulated. Start stretching. Start changing the way you walk. Get orthotics. There are so many different ways to take care of your back pain. Stretching, by the way, is incredibly important. And ironically, the people who need to stretch the most are the people who don't want to stretch because it hurts. If you're dealing with any kind of back pain, lower back pain, which is probably the number one cause of medical disability, lower back pain, start working on the body, on the structural component of the body. I've talked often on this program about something called rolfing, R-O-L-F-I-N-G. If we really cared about health in this country, we wouldn't have national health insurance. We would have national rolfing insurance. We would have maybe you need catastrophic insurance, okay. But for long-term chronic pain issues, nothing beats rolfing. And in my humble opinion, if we cared about health, we would have government, taxpayer-paid body work. Imagine that. Imagine 2 massages a week, or 2 massages a month, or 2 massages a week for that matter. 2 massages on the government, you get 2 massages a month. How cool would that be? If you have back pain, lower back pain, if insurance paid for rolfing, R-O-L-F-I-N-G, rolfing, look it up. It started in Boulder, Colorado, right here where I'm from. I had a rolf, figured out that there's certain kinds of things there's gluey substances that hold the body into place after long-term stress and long-term trauma, chronic trauma, or even trauma that occurred at a very early age. We can end up with what are called adhesions, fibroids, and this especially, by the way, or fibers, I should say, fibrosis and adhesions. And all of these change the way our body holds itself, change the way we walk. It compounds on itself. By the time we're 30, 40, 50 years old, we're all stuck up. We're glued together inside. What rolfing does is it breaks up those adhesions, and after surgery, this is especially important. Anybody who's had any kind of surgery, really, rolfing can be a godsend to prevent you from having adhesions further on down the road. Adhesions are these basically gluey substances that hold tissue together that can cause great pain, can cause organ issues, organ problems. A lot of female organ problems are associated with adhesions. So getting rolled post-surgery and pre-surgery, for that matter, is a great strategy for breaking up adhesions. Also, I've talked about this a lot, using digestive enzymes, proteases, things like papain and bromelain, especially, which you'll find in your Ultimate Enzymes from Longevity, by the way. Pre- and post-surgery. Not only is a great way to help with pain, digestive enzymes can help with pain, and not only a great way to prevent adhesions from forming, it'll break up fibers and gluey substances that can kind of stick things together after you have surgery, but it can also help accelerate the healing process. Even if you just bruise yourself, even if you just fall down and hurt yourself, and you have a bruise, or you get something hits you in the eye, you get black eye, using digestive enzymes, using Longevity's Ultimate Enzymes can really accelerate, sometimes very dramatically, the healing process. They're powerfully anti-inflammatory. That's one. I always talk about multifunctionality, and to me, Ultimate Enzymes, digestive enzymes, are an icon of multifunctional nutrients, multifunction non-essential nutrients. We don't often think they're important because they're not essential, of course, but we'll call them conditionally essential. What does that mean? It means that they may not be essential literally in the sense that you absolutely 100% have to have them, but they're conditionally essential in the sense that you'd be better off if you use them with meals and also on an empty stomach to help deal with fibers, with pain, to speed up the healing process, and also to help with cardiovascular health too. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. Claudia Navone. Coming up in our next segment, we're going to talk about the shapeshifter. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific, 10 to 11 Central Time, and 24/7 on the archive page at brightsideben.com. Also, we have an archive and a search engine at benfuchsarchives.com. Thank you to Peter in the UK. We've got lots of videos and news stories and health posts and the longevity products and a Join the Team Now link that you can click on at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. And don't forget to take a look at our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com. Never any preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, emulsifiers, water, oil, silicone, nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want in any of our Truth Skin Health products, all formulated in my compounding pharmacy for healing burns and cuts and scrapes and acne and psoriasis. And when you heal the skin, you beautify the skin. Healing and beauty go hand in hand. Healing precedes beauty. Check out all our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. All right, I am so excited to have our guest on. Claudia Navone is the author. Well, she's the author of a book called The Shapeshifter, but she's a lot more than the author of the book. The book is her personal story about how she went from being a really interesting kind of silver spoon heiress type of gal to a spiritual teacher, a spiritual guru with a lot of really, really wise and insightful things to say. Please welcome to the bright side, Claudia Navone. Hello, Claudia.
Hello, Ben. How are you?
So nice to talk to you. I love your voice. Claudia, do you
with my Italian accent.
There's a magic to your voice, Claudia. No, there's a magic to your voice. Is it Claudia or Claudia? How do I say your name?
Claudia.
Claudia. Okay, so Claudia. I was telling you between just a few moments ago how your book is so authentic and it's so real and it's so vulnerable and it's so open and it's so honest that I feel like I know you. You know, we've communicated a little bit via WhatsApp, but I really feel like I got to know you.
It had to be like that.
It's beautiful.
Otherwise, it would not make any sense.
Well, you have a very, very fascinating story, and I want the listeners to get a feel for who you are and where you come from. But I don't want to spend too much time talking on your story because you have so much brilliant things to say, and I really want to get into that. So tell us a little bit. Start off. Just tell us a little bit about the waiting room, as you say, how you got into your beginnings, where you come from, and how you awoke, how you became awakened, and then we'll get into some questions about spirituality that I really want to pick your brain on. Do we have Claudia? Oh, hello, Jason. Hey. I don't know if we have our guest. All right, I'm not sure what happened, but this is live radio, and that's what happens in live radio. Claudia was, I hope we get her back, because her book is really awesome. It's very easy to read, and it's got some incredible wise things in there. Claudia she came from a very wealthy family. She was an Italian from Italy, from Florence, Italy. She was born to wealth, and she ended up getting into the ballet world, and then she became a fashion editor. She traveled all through Europe and Monte Carlo and New York City and Australia, and she really lived a very charmed life. But she wasn't. There was something missing in her life, and she had an awakening, which I don't even want to. I mean, it's just such an amazing story, her awakening, and then. She talks about in her book, she divides her book up into 3 sections. She talks about being in the waiting room, as she calls it, which is being a child and getting into God from a spiritual sense, from a religious, getting into spirituality in a religious sort of way, and how disappointing that was for her, and then sort of becoming not religious or not spiritual, and then having a sort of awakening. All along the line, Claudia talks about how her heart was closed from having such a hard life, and how she learned to open up her heart. And I think that's such an important message in this time of such duress and great change. The message of being open-hearted is so powerful, and the way Claudia expresses it, it's so real that I was very excited to have her on, and I hope we have her back. Claudia, are you there? Claudia?
Yes, I am. I'm back. Sorry,
okay.
The line just went off.
I think it's your massive energy there, Claudia. You just fried the wire.
I don't know. Maybe it's the line with Brazil that is not that great.
Okay, no worries. So tell us real quick. Now we're going to run out of time here. I wanted you to tell just briefly, about your story, and then I want to get into some questions about meditation, about being open-hearted, about multidimensionality, a few other things that struck me as being very interesting in your book. But go just real briefly at your story. We only have a couple minutes.
Okay, well, very briefly, it's the story of my spiritual awakening. It's the story of opening my heart. It's a story of returning to love, returning within my own heart, because we are all born with an open heart. But then, when we start growing up, we are hitting karma. And whatever happens, we are starting to close our heart off. And so this is the story of my life journey, of my spiritual journey, of forgiving it all and returning into my heart, returning home into my heart. Since I was very young, I could see spirit, I could hear spirit, And then, I guess, with time, with my own material ambition, I lost all of that till the day in which I experienced a very powerful, almost a violent spiritual awakening that completely opened me up, and I started to see the truth. I started to see the truth through the veils of forgetfulness, and I started to remember who I truly was, a being of light and a being of love. And we are all, to start with, we're all light beings having a physical experience in a physical body here on earth, just for the purpose of learning our lessons and balancing our karma. So,
Claudia, we got to take Claudia.
The story of my awakening.
Claudia, we have to take a break. Hang on to that thought, okay? We take a commercial, and we come right back. I know it's great. I didn't mean to interrupt, but we have to take a commercial break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We've got Claudia Navone. Her book is The Shape Shifter. We'll continue right after this. Don't go away. We are back on The Bright Side talking to Claudia Navone. Her book is The Shapeshifter, A Tale from Glitter to Light. Claudia, before we went to break, you were saying we're all light beings. We're all here to learn lessons. We're all here to clear karma. All that makes perfect sense. I get all that. But it's not so easy. How do you do it? Right?
Well, the spiritual path is not easy, but I promise you, it's so worth it. You know, if you wish for a great reality, and, if you wish to create a great reality for yourself, if you wish immense peace within your heart, then you have to work a little bit at it. It's like with anything in life. So I had this major spiritual awakening, but then I had to work on myself an awful lot. Because the spiritual path, really what it is the opening of the heart, and obviously is the mastering of your own consciousness. We have to become our own masters, and mastering everything that is unresolved in our own consciousness. And when we are starting to do this and to purify and cleanse ourselves and to expand the light within ourselves and to reactivate our own connection with our higher self, everybody has a higher self, a higher consciousness, what I also call super consciousness. And everybody has this. Everybody has the capacity of reconnect themselves with their higher consciousness. But, you have to work at it. Like if you want to become anything amazing in your life, you have to study, you have to work at it. And spirituality is exactly that. And you need to practice. But quite frankly, what it's giving you, it's so amazing because it brings so much grace upon your life. When you have really the awareness that you are the creator of your own reality, and you create your reality with every thought you have, every word you say, every action you do. And when you have, begin to have this awareness, you can shift your reality because you are shifting yourself. When you are shifting your consciousness, the consequence is that you are also shifting your reality. When you're bringing love and light within yourself through the spiritual daily practices, you are creating grace within yourself. When you are opening your heart and allow your heart to guide you, you attract everything you need to yourself. So, yes, there is the work, but there is so much to gain from this. It's about becoming super conscious about everything. And that's what we need in this world. Because, if we are looking at humanity as the collective consciousness of humanity, and with how we behaved from thousands of years with all the wars, injustice, not really being very humanitarian, this is only for one reason, is a lack of consciousness.
We haven't been.
We all need to acquire much more consciousness, not just for ourselves, but also how we treat others, how we treat the earth. That's another big subject as well.
Do you think
humanity needs to become much more conscious? And we are going through a bit of a general awakening at the moment with everything that is happening, with the COVID-19, with the Black Lives Matters, I mean, the world has not seen stuff like that before. So there is much more consciousness that it's starting to flow within everyone, because we are moving towards 2022, which is the very beginning of the age of Aquarius. We are shifting ages. From the age of Pisces, we are moving into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of awakening en masse. But this awakening of mass has to start from the individual. So we're heading towards what many in the spiritual world call the golden age. But the golden age is something that needs to start within ourselves. The golden age is our own awakening. And spiritual awakening, the awakening path, is truly a path of empowerment. You become so empowered through the spiritual awakening, through the spiritual path, because you are getting rid of anything that stands between you and the true essence of who you are, the true essence of your soul. So when you are liberating yourself of all the shackles, of illusions, of all of your blockages, of all of your fears, of all of the old paradigms, of the old false belief systems, it's such a liberation, and that is what I have been experiencing and what I experience every single day. So what I'm talking about is not theory. It's the truth. It's what I have been going through, liberating myself of all of this stuff and living now an amazing life of grace.
That's beautiful. Claudia, that's a beautiful story. What you said is very interesting to me, because there's a lot of negativity around what's happening in the world. And to me, when you say super conscious, it's kind of like looking at opening your third eye kind of thing, seeing things at a meta level.
We all have third eyes. We all have chakra systems, We're all having, with a physical body, we all have an energy body. And the spiritual practice, it's simply when you are beginning to open your energy body. And that is what changes everything. And that's why the spiritual practice is important. And you cannot live without that. You cannot really transform without the spiritual practice. And while you are developing your energy body, it's when you are starting to let go of all of the illusions, of all the illusion of separations, of whatever your illusion is. And eventually you're going to live your life without fear.
That's a
I am experiencing that now. I don't really have much fear within myself. But I used to have so much fear then before. I was guided by fear. But not anymore. So, I can read the news, and I like to read the news because I like to be informed of what is going on, but I don't buy into the fear.
That's beautiful. That's
Never.
well said. Well, Claudia.
Because, the news are really led by a lot of fear.
Claudia. We're just out of time. I'm so sorry that we got cut short. How do people get the book? It's just Amazon and Audible and Kindle and all that.
Yes, on Amazon, The Shapeshifter by Claudia Navone. I'm sure it's in shops as well, but I wouldn't know where, And but really on Amazon, it's the easiest to get my book for sure.
Do you work with people individually, or do you do classes, or do you have workshops, anything like that?
Well, I am a spiritual teacher, so till up to now I've been traveling around the world and teach to many, many beautiful spiritual communities. But in August, some of my work is going to be launched online through a new platform called In Spirit.
Hey, Claudia.
So
Claudia. Can you get her back up? I want to.
Filming courses, filming workshops, filming many videos, and all is going to be from August on this amazing platform called In Spirit.
Claudia, we're out of time. I want to have you back because we cut you short. So I'm going to be in touch with you. Say hi to Carolina for me, and thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it very much, Claudia. I'm going to be in touch with you. That's Claudia Navone. Her book is The Shapeshifter, A Tale from Glitter to Light, and that's all the time we have for today. I'm Farm Spen. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to you later, folks. Bye for now.